Listen.
Yeah, we can. I can listen you.
You can also see your screen also. Deepak?
Yeah, just wait.
Hi, can you hear me out?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Currently, we have 3 minutes. Then we will start. Let's wait for the participants.
Just give me a moment.
Yeah, you can, sir. Deepak, you have shared your screen, I think. Is it?
Wait, sir.
Aisha, there is an option to share your screen also. If you want to share any PPT, you can share your PPT also.
I can't hear you. Hello.
Yeah. Rajesh sir, you can share your PPT also, sir, by using share screen option. Can you listen me?
Hello, Rajiv sir. Can you listen me?
Hello.
Sir, can you listen me?
Rajesh sir, can you listen us?
Hello.
I'm not able to hear you. Yeah.
What? Hello.
So, might be sir, sound of your laptop
Hello.
is low. Kindly increase the sound, sir. Devaji, you can call him and make him understand.
Yeah.
Dear participant, whatever question you have, you can write down the question and answer in chat option available. So at the end, we will take all the questions one by one.
Can you
We
just?
assure you.
Rajiv sir, can you
I'm not
listen
able
us?
to hear you guys.
Wait.
Sir, can you listen us? Rajesh sir, can you listen us? Dear friend, you can ask a question by writing a question option. At the end of the session, we will take all your questions. We promise you, no question will be unanswered. Every question will be taken up at the end of the session. We are just taking 1 or 2 minutes, so the speaker will get ready with his mic.
Okay. I have unmuted.
Yes, sir. Now we can listen you.
You can listen, but
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not able to listen
Okay.
what you guys are saying. Okay.
Are you able to listen, sir?
Hello.
Sir, can you listen us?
Hello.
Aditi, can you listen us?
Yeah. Deepak, I'm not able to listen you guys, so I don't know what's the reason.
I think Deepaji listen to all of us. When I request all our participants, those who are unable to attend this Zoom meeting, Zoom seminar, webinar, they can join us through YouTube also and Facebook also. But this webinar is going live on YouTube and Facebook also. We will share the link in the chat option. We have also given link in our messages sent you through Facebook, WhatsApp, and other medium. Raisa, can you listen us? We'll get back, Rajiv in few seconds, few minutes. Friends, hope you are liking our webinar series. If you have any question or you want to suggest any topic, you can write the same thing in the chat option. Chat option is available. Or you can write your any query, any topics. We have planned a further week for you. We have a very good series of webinar. We will provide you to seminar on daily basis. We will include some very good topics also in upcoming seminars. So friend, please be with us and book your time at least 4 to 5 p.m. for us so that we can provide you best quality webinars for us, for all of us, so that we can utilize our time during lockdown. Today's speaker, Rajiv ji, is also a very senior speaker. He is also past Central Council member of ICSI. So he has a very vast experience in consultancy and he has seen the startup from day one when it developed in India. So friends, its session is going to be very good session for all of us. I assure you, you will definitely enjoy this session and get new opportunity to add your profile related to startup especially. Sir, can you listen us, Rajiv sir?
Hello, can you listen us now? So is it working now?
Rajiv ji, can you listen us?
But we cannot listen you now. Now we cannot listen. No.
So kindly increase the volume of your laptop.
No. Hello. I'm not able to listen there.
Okay.
No. Yes.
Coming. भेजो भेजो भेजो
Just hold a second. Just hold. तुम्हें राजीव बजाज की आवाज आ रही है? हेलो संगम जी.
I can listen you.
But can you listen, Rajiv ji?
No, no. I think he's not speaking right now.
He is speaking now.
So please speak. No, not able to listen him.
But Sangam ji, can you write in the chat box and please ask the participants whether they can listen Rajiv ji or not? Because I think one of the participants is saying they can listen Rajiv ji.
मैं पूछ लेता हूँ ना. Hey, people writing not able to listen.
Can't listen. Mr. Rajiv is not audible. Sir, please unmute your mic, Rajiv ji.
Yes. Now speak, sir.
Now speak. No.
I think he connected with his earphone, I think.
आप कैसे कनेक्ट है मतलब आप डायरेक्ट कंप्यूटर से कनेक्ट करें ना विदाउट ईयरफोन हटा दीजिए एंड देन कनेक्ट
Now speak, sir. Say hello. No, sir. Not able to.
एंड सर कैन यू चेक वेदर आपका स्पीकर का जो वॉल्यूम बटन है वो ऑन है ऑफ है वेट नो
Rajiv, can you listen us? Okay, I think he can listen us. Sir, I think there is some audio issue. Unmute the mic, sir, of your laptop. In your system, mic is mute, sir. Speaker is on, but mic is mute.
सर एनी डेस्क है आपके पास हेलो नो सर कैन यू प्लीज रिकनेक्ट अगेन नो तुम कह रहे तुम्हें आवाज आ रही किसी को नहीं आ रही तुम्हें कैसे आवाज आ रही है राजीव बजाज की हेलो
Now he will reconnect. Friends, tomorrow we have a session on a very new topic, company's fresh startup scheme 2020, start scheme 2020 and LLP settlement scheme
Hello?
2020.
No, not coming.
Both the scheme are recently
You are not yet joined.
Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So tomorrow we have session on this, and this is very important session. Post lockdown, it will be a very good opportunity for all of us to do in practice. So friends, don't miss tomorrow's session. Kindly register in advance. You will get the link soon in chat box. We will share the link for tomorrow's session also. So kindly register as soon as possible. Friends, please wait for 2 and 3 minutes because he is our key speaker, star speaker for today. Without him, we cannot start this webinar. So please have patience with us.
बता रहा हूँ सर
So
बता रहा हूँ सर
256
256
722
722 722 No, sir.
Yes, now we can see you.
No. No, sir.
No, sir, you're not audible, sir.
No, no, you're not audible. No.
Can you take him on any decks and resolve the issue?
Do you have any test?
Any decks, TeamViewer, any other?
TeamViewer, any test? And if you have Zoom app in mobile, you can start and you can share your PPT with me, if any. I will run the PPT and you can try to log in from the mobile. Do you have any PPT?
He's trying by mobile now. Rajiv ji, can you speak?
Hello?
Connect by mobile phone. Do you need the webinar ID?
Hello? Hello?
You can talk to him via mobile.
Yeah, I think it's connected by mobile, so I'm not calling it on mobile. Hello? हेलो हाँ सर कनेक्ट कर लिया अब आप वीडियो पे तो आ गए हैं ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा अभी भी आप मोबाइल से कनेक्टेड है अभी
Deepak might be when he connect with the mobile,
Hello?
that will not be linked with as a panelist.
Hello?
So sound will not come. Deepak,
हाँ
I think
आईडी
when
दोबारा
he
दे
connect
देता हूँ
by mobile, so he will not be as a panelist. So might be his sound will not come.
आईडी है 819 971 422 and password is 256 722 रजिस्ट्रेशन पेज ही डाला हुआ है
Friends, we are trying to solve the issue as soon as possible. So member is suggesting to download the AnyDex. Sir, say hello.
We join. Wait. Now please speak. Hello. No, we cannot hear you. Sir, can you please download the AnyDesk on the laptop if it is not there? No.
Yes, sir. Speak, sir. Now he's coming on the rules.
No.
I think earphone का issue है. Earphone खराब है I think.
सर ईयर मोबाइल के स्पीकर से अगर ट्राई कीजिए.
Sir, earphone निकाल के. First thing to remove earphone.
ईयरफोन. ओके. नो यूर नॉट ऑडिबल. पहले आपकी आवाज आ रही थी, हमारी नहीं आ रही थी. आई थिंक कुछ बटन का इशू है जो आपने ऑन ऑफ करा है. यस. नो. नहीं.
सर आपने अपने एक स्पीकर बंद कर रखा है. एक माइक बंद कर रखा है.
कैन यू प्लीज. नहीं. यस. नहीं, आपको अपना बताना पड़ेगा सर. 519 016
But there is issue in mic only, sir. There is no issue in.
51016. आपके पास कोई और ईयरफोन है घर पे, मतलब किसी और मेंबर का?
I think
एक्सेप्ट कीजिए.
फोन के माइक से और इसके माइक से हो सकता है काम. लैपटॉप के माइक से. हेलो.
हेलो. Can you speak? No.
Deepak, I think he should do minimize the screen, go on the volume part, double click there, and then mic will show.
Microphone starts coming. Sir,
Volume
speak now.
setting is another way to go there.
cannot hear you.
Deepak, take him on Anydex.
I'm already on the Anydesk.
Okay. Go on the volume setting, mic.
Already on the website. तो यहाँ पे एक बार वो मेल खोलेंगे आप जो आया होगा आपके पास मेरे से, जूम से जो आया होगा एक बार। हाँ, नहीं आपके पास और कोई सिस्टम है घर पे भी, और कोई लैपटॉप या अभी फॉर द टाइम बिंग एक बार आप उससे अगर ज्वाइन कर पाए कोई और लैपटॉप से।
Audience suggesting, please untick the leave computer audio.
जूम की जरूरत नहीं सर, वो लिंक पे आप क्लिक करो ना तो 1 मिनट में इंस्टॉल हो जाएगा वो। Rajiv sir, can you please speak? Now speak. Hello? No, we cannot. Hello? No. मोबाइल से मैं एक बार फोन डिस्कनेक्ट करता हूँ, देन वी ट्राई।
Hello.
Anji sir.
Can you listen to me now?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay.
I think आपकी दो स्क्रीन है, एक स्क्रीन बंद करनी पड़ेगी आपको।
मैं स्क्रीन बंद कर देता हूँ। Okay. Now
Now we can listen you.
and see me also.
Yes, we can see you also.
Yeah, I'll just send you the PPT.
Yes.
I'll just forward you. Huh?
Yeah, please forward me.
Meanwhile, I will read the profile of Rajesh sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes, you can read.
Friends, sorry for the delay. Let's start today's webinar. And it is our proud privilege today we have a very learned speaker, Rajesh sir, with us. Rajesh sir is originally belonged to the Chandigarh. He has reached the position of Senior Associate Director, Company Secretary and CFO at Panasonic AVC Network India Limited. He started the journey as a member of ICSI in 1992 and became youngest secretary of Chandigarh chapter ICSI. He is a past Center Council member of ICSI 1518, past chairman of NIRC of ICSI 2012. Served the ICSI Noida chapter as chairman 4 times between 2000 to 2010. He is the ex-vice president of Consumer Electric and Appliance Manufacturer Association, New Delhi. Now he is the CEO of the Bajaj and Bajaj Corporate Chapter. Friends, it is our proud privilege to having his company, and he has accepted our invitation to speak on the professional opportunity for the startup consultancy. It is a very unique and very important topic for all of us, as we know that Modi government has special emphasis on the startups. So friend, I hope and wish today's webinar will help us to provide consultancy to our clients, those who are dealing in the startups. So I will not take much of your time and request Rajesh sir to start this deliberation. Friends, if you have any question related to his presentation, kindly ask. We will try to take your all the question at the end of the session. Thank you very much. Rajesh sir,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, friends.
Rajesh sir, have you sent the PPT?
Yeah, I'm just forwarding it to you. Friends, sorry for this hiccup in the beginning itself, but this is what technology is teaching us, and we are just trying to grapple with the different challenges it is throwing on us. So, Deepak, can you just forward the mail ID to me?
Yeah, in the chat box, can I do?
You can send it on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'm sending.
So, friends, as you know that startups are struggling, and this moment when Government of India is also trying to bail them out, we are facing the rattling of this COVID-19, and when we are actually trying to find ways for excelling in each area. But at the same time, I think what is more important is how we grapple with this issue, how we handle the issues which are being thrown by the this challenge on all of us, and how we actually move forward and help the industry, these startup guys who are looking forward for help from we professionals. So that is where I think the challenge lies, and that is how I think all of us, we need to work on. I will be covering mostly today what is the role of professionals, how we can expand our horizon even in this somber time, in this tough time, and also at the same time how we can help the government, we can help the startup workspace to expand in current environment in their business. So, Deepak, you received the
mail. Just wait. Not yet received. Not yet received.
So, I think what I'll be covering today is I'll just take you through the contents which I would like to talk about. One, of course, how we can handle this difficult time, because it's not easy, of course, to move forward in these difficult times without facing challenge. But I think you got it, Deepak? Yeah. So while Deepak sets up the PPT, friends, I would like to at the outset take you to the why startups need professionals in this hour of challenging time. And if you look at the current situation, I think yeah. So Deepak, you got it now? Technology is throwing challenges on us. So anyway,
I have got it,
one,
sir.
yeah. So the main challenge which is there for the startups, let us look at those challenges before we move to the solutions part of it. One, of course, they are struggling to gain finance from the banks because or financial institutions or the various agencies which are funding them. So funding is a big challenge for the startups. Second, they are not able to attract angel investments because the government, although has announced a lot of measures for the startups, but the angel investments are hard to find because they are not able to sell their idea to all the investors, and people are very skeptical these days, especially in these tough times. Then lack of planning, and in the initial phase itself, there's some overspending which happens, and cash flow become, the increasingly tough and tight. So that is another challenge.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now the
You,
PPT is there. Yeah.
yes.
So we can move forward. Deepak, can you just
Yeah.
scroll it?
On the first page of the PPT.
First page, of course, difficulties. So we started with difficulty today also. So every difficulty has a lesson for us. So difficulties. This is Dr. Abdul Kalam. He said, difficulties in your life do not come to destroy you, but to help you realize your hidden potential and the power to let difficulties know that you too are difficult. So we never gave up. We whatever we managed, we started, although almost 25 minutes late. But next, Deepak.
Yeah.
So we just discussed that what are the challenges being faced by the startup. Of course, one challenge is finance from the banks. Next. Angel investors not available. So that is a main, and of course, the government is also trying to come out with a lot of schemes for the startups. Next. Lack of planning, because cash flows are becoming a major challenge for the startups, and especially in this tough time, the cash flow is going to be a major challenge in times to come also. Next. Yeah. They are also struggling to be, have their customer base, because customers are not hard. Customers are not, they are not able to find the customers. So startups not only have a challenge of setting up their business, but also they have a challenge of building their customer base, which is, something they grapple with. And we professionals, we can always come out with ideas. We can always support them with, how they should expand their customer base, what kind of marketing strategies they should adopt, and how they can, extend, their business. Next. Next is how to grow the business. Now, this is again something where they need a professional help, because uh, the difficulty to grow business is something which is actually becoming a challenge for uh, you know all of us. So how they can, as a professional, we can guide them that how they can actually, grow their business, what kind of way they should adopt to make sure that they run their business efficiently and smoothly. This is something a professional can guide the startup. Next. Then the big challenge for startup is they cannot attract best possible talent, because people are very skeptical in joining them. Good employees, good professionals, professionals of course can support them, but they don't find good full-time employees or CEOs or CFOs for them. And here lies the one advisory role for professionals to get them good support, good possible talent, so that they can run their business efficiently, and they can actually move forward with a lot of positive spirit. Next. Now, this is the current situation. How to deal with this COVID-19 situation is another big challenge for the startups, and how to deal with the cash flow issues and survive in this market is also something which startups have to really look forward to. So, this cash flow, is very, very tough, and the survival of the fittest is there in the market. So how you are going to survive is something which the startups have to look forward to in the this space. Next. So what is the answer? I think this is something which we have to look forward to, that how these startups can look into this area, how they can solve these issues. So these are the things which I think I wanted to discuss with you, so that we can advise the our clients, our stakeholders. Deepak, can you move forward? Next. One, professionals can provide startups with one affordable service. They cannot afford CEOs or CFOs, or they cannot afford a very high cost employees, but they can definitely have affordable service. Value adding and flexible business consulting, that is again something which startups are looking forward to. At this moment, they have a very tough time. Then help them quickly reinvent their business model for post COVID-19 situation, because they are actually looking forward to their how they are able to cope up with this post COVID-19 situation. This is where we can help them, and of course help them improve profitability and increase efficiency to make business sustainable. So this is again something which we can help them to look at the sustainability itself. Next. Now, what are the three important goals which are to be achieved by focusing on key concepts? One, of course, modernizing the operations, then reinventing the workforce, and energizing the strategy itself. Because unless you modernize the operations, you'll not be able to achieve your goals. You have to reinvent the workforce. So that is again very, very important. And you have to, uh, have a strategy in place, so that you can handle all the issues which are being thrown upon by the environment on the startups. Next. So one, Startup India, one, Government of India has already set up a very ambitious target that they should have 50,000 new startups and 500 new incubators, and of course the innovation zones. So they are trying their best to help the startup space in India. Next. And of course, the if you know, there's a startupindia.gov.in, which has all the eligibility criteria, what kind of action plan is needed for startups, what kind of registration process is required, and what are the supporting documents. These professionals, we can support these startups into all these documentation part. Then we can help them in sourcing of funding. There are a lot of funding options available which are supported by Government of India also. We can actually guide them through those various funding options. Then what are the incentives which are available for the startup, and what are the benefits and advantages which are there for those startups. That is, we can always help them with. So I think professionals have a very big role, where you can all handle the startup work. Next. Now, one of the most important part is the financial management. Unless you have a good financial management, no startup can survive in this tough time. So one, we professionals can guide on cash flow management, on cost reduction, on management accounting, and how to do business analysis. So cash flow management, of course, is very important, but cost reduction is also extremely important. How they are going to do the cost reduction, and how they are going to have the cut the cost and save money for running the show. And of course, the accounting is taken care, and how the business analytics are taken care. So business analysis is also very important, because that gives you the idea where and how to run your business. And that is where I think startups need to work on. Next. Then comes the market planning and strategy. Of course, your marketing and advertising has to be right. You have to actually, make a difference through the marketing. So we can help the startups by doing market planning, then marketing performance reporting, then of course branding, then customer service, and of course, the customer loyalty strategies also will be required. So I think we can help the startups in analyzing their core marketing activities, ensure that branding is aligned with their corporate vision and targets. And we can also help them in improving their customer loyalty and improve the customer service, because service is very important. As you know, if the product is good, everything is good, but you're not able to give them proper service, I have seen many companies failing because of this weakness of service itself. So to keep your customer happy and loyal and glued to you, it is very important for the startups to have their systems in place. And this is where the professional help can come in, where we can actually help those startups to improve those services. Next. Now, business planning and growth. Of course, this is very important. You must have a robust, business plan, and it has to be updated regularly. So, in Japanese jargon, there's a term called PDCA: plan, do, check, and act. So, we of course we so professional can help startup with business plan for investments, loans, and grants. Then, of course, setting up their corporate strategies. Then business planning, budgets, and forecast. Those are very important. And then growth strategies, and then employee performance management building, and of course the systems like dashboards, scorecards, and KPIs. These are the tools which are available these days for managing and monitoring business, because not only managing, monitoring is also very important. How you measure your results, how you measure your growth, and how you move forward in your business. Next, Deepak. Yeah, the process improvement and innovation. I think this is again very important. Hello. The process improvement and innovation is very important, and this is where I think the startups we need to all align ourselves, and of course we need to guide the startups about how to innovate, how they can carry on their business, how they can actually move forward with new innovative ways, because I think technology is available, but how to use that technology and how to do the process innovation. I think one slide back, Deepak, can you please go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So of course the end of the vertical management, and of course cloud computing, process improvement, outsourcing, new product and market, open source. So all these software tools are available, but then how to use these tools, how to actually implement them for the business and utilize them for the growth of the business, that is the key. And that is where I think we all need to support the startup workspace. Next comes the talent management. Now, talent management is recruitment, retention, innovation, and of course the productivity. So how you recruit the staff and how you maintain the quality of the staff. Deepak, I think something wrong with the slide. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes, now it's fine. So the high quality staff must be recruited, and then of course retained also. And how the workforce is changing, and how to retain them in this tough time is a big challenge. And then of course to have the succession management for key employees, because suddenly if your key employee leaves, how you are going to continue with the business. So you must have the next second person also available with you so that the business can run. Then of course, it is very important to ensure the organizational structure is agile and able to respond to the change. And of course, productivity and innovation. So all this is part of the talent management, which is very, very important for the business. And so talent management is something we all need to advise the startups, and we can play a big role. HR consulting is also an area which can be combined with our professional work. Next. So what are the various startup services? I think one, of course, the business consulting. Then the micro consulting. Now, what is the difference between business consulting and micro consulting? I'll be explaining you in the next slides. And how business monitoring is done, because business monitoring is again very important, because you just don't have to run the business, you have to monitor your business as well. And then of course business analysis and outsourcing, how you have to identify the areas which you have to do it yourself, and also the areas which you can outsource, and you can utilize the outsourced help. And that is where the role of professionals come in. Now, next, business consulting, of course, is a big area. One, for modernization of operations, redefine. So modernization is basically your financial management, your support and mentoring, market planning, process improvement, your new technology absorption, and of course the problem solving and problem resolution. That is the key area for all professionals to help the startup workspace. And of course, how to do organizational remodeling. This is again something we professionals can handle in a very strategic manner. And of course, business planning and growth and innovation and customer loyalty and engagement and ethics and sustainability. So this is again something which consultants, as a consultant, as a professional, we can guide the startups. Next. Micro consulting is basically the fixed price consulting, where we give a solution to the particular problem. Like now in COVID-19, I'm sure a lot of startups will be having this business continuity difficulty, whether their business is worthwhile, whether they should continue with their business, whether they should change their business model, or they should abandon their business. Now, I give you an example, Airbnb. Now, Airbnb was very successful before COVID-19. Suddenly, because of this crisis, nobody is traveling, nobody is going into the hotels. So, Airbnb has reoriented. Now, I was seeing that they have come out with, another idea that, okay, you can use the platform for pursuing your hobbies. So they are having chat sessions, they are having discussions on what are your hobbies, how you manage your pets, and things like that. So that is how the business problems have specific business solutions. So that is where micro consulting can help in offering simple, affordable, effective, and focused solutions to the startups. Next. Business mentoring. The mentoring part is, I have come across many techies who have the knowledge of technical details, but they don't have bandwidth to understand the commercial part of it, or understand the other part of the business, and the compliance part of the business, risk management part of the business. So that is where the mentoring can be is actually a very big area for professionals. So you can act as a business mentor. You can even go for equity participation. That, okay, you don't have money, don't if the project is really good, you don't ask for money, you ask for the shareholding. And if the project becomes really big, like Oyo and some other big examples are there, so one can really make a fortune out of it. So business mentoring is again a very big area for we professionals. So we can get into business mentoring also. Next. Business analysis and outsourcing. Of course, now outsourcing is again a big industry. It is growing, and the management accounts and of course business analysis, we all need to move forward. Now, next is you know, how we can help. One, faster decision making. Of course, the higher cash balance and cost saving, increase in sales, of course, more opportunities for growth, increase in productivity. Now let us look at the lessons which are learned. Deepak, you can just quickly move forward. Let's come to the COVID-19 situation and how we can, yes, how we can help the startups. So COVID-19 has really, shown, few big lessons for us. One, that technology is very important for business. Digital commerce will be a reality now. Business continuity planning is extremely important. So how to have the business continuity planning, that is again something which we need to focus on. Liquidity and cash flow management is again, cost cutting is going to be a big industry now. If you have good ideas for any organization, how to cut cost and how to control your variable cost model, that can be a big business opportunity. Then risk management, of course, is the key to survival. Localization and building supply chain, and of course, importance of professional advice and support for long-term survival. That is again, I'll be sharing some more data with you in next few slides as to how the situation is and how we can cope with it, and what are the industries which are getting affected. Next. Now, if you look at who are the immediate gainers and sufferers, of course, in a Bangalore-based startup, which has come up with the idea of which is your next grocery store in the neighborhood, what are their timings, what time it is opening, what time it is closing. So they have come out with COVID maps. Now this is again, this startup has really suddenly become very successful in the last few days. There's a Manipur-based startup which has come out with home deliveries. There's a Bangalore-based startup who actually, is into online consultation of pets. Online supply, startups are very much in demand. Digital payment and service startups are also flourishing now. Sufferers in this whole process is travel startups, startups delivering daycare for kids, and the hotel startups. So, this space is really facing challenge. So we need to actually give them advice how to actually come out of it and how they can, move out of, so next. Yeah. So now let us look at the emerging opportunities out of this crisis. Although crisis is very big, I think we all are impatient to understand that how to handle this, So, and what are the areas which are going to get boost and where we can focus on? One, telemedicine, will get a boost. Food deliveries will emerge very strong. This delivery business will become bigger. Online learning and digital content development. This is going to be a big game now. So we have already seen a lot of online, the content and development has happened. Remote work tools which are there, that is again something which is becoming very positive. Gaming industry is growing and it is bound to grow. Reduce dependency on imports through backward and forward integration. Essential and semi-essential goods manufacturing, healthcare and technology. Of electronic component business, which was in China so far. People are already talking about local manufacturing now. R&D based pharma opportunity is huge. whosoever is going to develop some kind of a solution for this handling this COVID problem will be a very successful in terms of a business. Healthcare infrastructure and medical supplies is again the whole world is now looking at India. Diversification and automation and scale of manufacturing, and of course the rural area, and the reverse migration will happen, and of course boost to chemical industry and localization and make in India will surely be there. So next slide, I'll share with you what is the impact. Now I dig out some data where this kind of a crisis came in 2008 also. So what kind of industries got impacted at that point of time? One, you can see from this graph, household products, of course, there was a reduction of almost 21%. And similarly, healthcare and consumer electronics suffered the most. Food away from home, like hotels, restaurants, they suffered. So I think the industries which are in all these areas will have challenges, and so all of us, we can focus on how to help these industries. If there are some clients in our client workspace who are actually so we can guide, the likely impact on your business is going to be we can quantify and then try and give them some solution as to how they can handle the business challenges, and how they can actually exceed in their how they can come out with probable solutions to survive. That is what I thought it is very important for us to kind of visualize and then help the industry in facing this in this difficult time. Next. Now, the most important part for professionals is how you define your strategy, because that is where I think people will be looking at us. One, we have to actually see the impact on the organization. What's the kind of impact for the coming half year? Then what's the kind of 1.5 year kind of impact, and what is the long-term impact, which is maybe 3 years or more than 3 years impact. Now, I have tried to, this is, I got this from, very good matrix from boardinnovation.com. Now, it says that, the impact can be positive, mildly negative, severe, and catastrophic. We all understand that, different businesses will have different kind of a challenge after this COVID. So we professionals, we have to actually first see what kind of impact it's going to have on, for example, e-commerce will have a very positive impact. Consumer goods will have a mildly negative impact. Oil and gas will have a severe impact, and tourism will have a very, very, big impact. So looking at all these areas and then looking at the time taken for recovery, I think we can give a strategic input to the various clients, various startups. Those of my friends who were feeling that we are just talking theoretical, because I was just trying to show you first, that how we are going to move forward methodically, and then of course what kind of solutions can be there. And I think key lies in offering the strategy to these startups, to even we can advise them to abandon the market if we see that there is going to be a huge loss for them in times to come. But of course, first is to give them recovery strategy, First is to give them positive input, and then try and give them solutions. That is what we professionals need to do. Now, next, there was a survey recently where various startups were interviewed, and what kind of expectation they have from the government. So one, of course, they are looking for interest-free term loans so that they can survive in this tough time where adequate cash flow management can be done. Of course, grant rebate along with deferment of payment of GST, income tax, and other statutory dues for 6 months. Relief on front of PF and ESI contribution. Electricity fixed charges, sometimes they are very heavy on the startups, so they can be maybe cut to half for the 6 months. Start a new effective insurance fund to handle this kind of situation for their workers. Reduce tax burden on individual and industry for next 1 year. Of course, government also has a tough task how to handle this, but this is what startup space expects. Refund of the GST, some of the payment which is already on pro rata basis. Exporters should get back some drawback in order to cover their losses, and reduce tax burden for the startups. So these are the various expectations which recently during a survey which came forward. So I think we can just forward these to the government, and we can give them some inputs as to what is the expectation of the startup workspace from us. Next. Of course, we have to use our professional competencies. One, continuous learning, ability to create knowledge, apply theoretical knowledge into practice, because very much, but how to put it in practice and how to actually help the clients face this tough time is something which we need to look at. Enthusiasm and customer commitment to customer, capacity to solve problems, and of course mastery on whatever we know. I think that's the key. Next. Friends, we all have a code of conduct. During this tough time, let's not cut each other in the term of business. One, of course, friendly environment, professional and ethical behavior. Confidentiality, of course, should be maintained, and due respect for the fellow members and spirit of law need to be kept. So be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your that is what really matters, and that is how we can move forward in these tough times and help our fellow professionals and the industry. Next slide. Try to give some ideas about how in this tough time we can do business promotion. That means the professionals. One, of course, using social media to engage with the customers, promote your brand, and you should not be seen as taking advantage in this tough time. But of course, extend your brand proposition into value. Basically, everybody is looking for value. So how we give value to the customer, that's very important. Identify new occasions and behaviors to drive relevance, so that because a lot of people are staying at home. So what kind of relevance we can give them in this time, that's very important. Connecting and revitalizing the relationship. This is a good time to revitalize your relationship. Innovate to find new ways to deliver solutions. And of course, reassessing your client engagement program. And of course, variable cost and outsourcing methods can be adopted even by us, we professionals. We can our expertise and share the work amongst us, so that we can provide good service at a considerably, good, level and good quality for the customer. Next. How to achieve success? This is, of course, I thought, let me, at the end of my presentation, share this with you. One, of course, next slide, Deepak. Relationship, timely delivery, alertness. We all have to alert. We need to keep our clients updated. And we must understand their business. Actually, sometimes, we don't get into their shoes. So it is very important for us to get into the shoes of the client and understand what are their pain points and where it pinches, and then try and give them solution. Extending a helping hand in this tough time, we professionals can offer helping hands to all our clients. Balance and, of course, know your client. Because if you are not actually focusing on them, you are not giving them solutions, you may have a very short relationship. So to build a long-term relationship, you should get into their shoes. So you must do things which you think you cannot do, so that you all must always challenge yourself. So next. So all roles which we can play, I try to summarize here. One, of course, we can be advisor, we can be auditor, we can be a consultant, we can be academician, we can teach the startup community where and how to move forward. We can be a researcher, we can give them a lot of input and research. We can also act as a director. The ladies present today, woman director is already a reality. So why not? You can be a director on the board of the startups and help them. We can be an entrepreneur, and we can be a people's representative. So all these areas are open to us. So well done is better than well said. So I know we say a lot of things, but actually bringing them to reality is something which is very important. So it is well done is always better than well said. So next, don't limit your challenges and challenge your limits. That is what we all need to do and all need to look at. I'll be very happy to answer any of your questions and queries. And
Hello.
we can, yeah.
Hello, friends. If you have any queries, please raise your hand and you can speak directly from Rajiv, sir.
Sir, before going to questions, sir, as you have a lot of experience over your professional practice, I want to know, sir, some of the opportunities for young professional having practice of 5 to 10 years, how they can provide service to the professionals, startup basically. What kind of service, like certification, consultancy, and what kind of things that they're directly providing to the startup, sir?
See, as you know that all startups, right from the incorporation to day-to-day compliance requirements, they have to be taken care. And as I told you that we need to innovate. We don't have to just look at the basic work of filing the forms or filing returns for them. I think the key lies in giving them advisory on the business running, business continuity planning, innovation, how they can actually change the, those of you who heard about the, Fujifilm actually didn't change. They kept on producing the films where the world moved to, taking photographs on mobile or some other devices. So that was a big mistake by them, but later on they recovered by changing their business model. So that is where we professionals, we can help the startup community in understanding how the business is going to be in times to come, how they are expected to change according to the situation, to change their business model. And of course, cost cutting is another area. which is part of the business continuity planning. Because if you can really cut cost, you can survive. If you can really change your fixed cost model into a variable cost model. Suppose you are working from rental premises, very expensive premises. Now already solution is available that you can actually work from home. No, so you can have part of the your local people working from various locations operate from home. So that those kind of solutions we can look at and providing. Yeah.
Sometimes what we feel, sir, is some person will come to us and we are failed to judge whether this setup will be actually fruitful or not, because sometimes they come with the idea and
Yeah.
in starting they don't have a money to pay our fees also. So
Yes.
how to judge at that time? Should we provide services to that startups? Because based upon their promises also, in future when the startup will be grown up, then they will pay our fees and have that kind of startup.
Yeah, as I said, we in fact can get into a equity arrangement with them. Suppose the startup is really good. Suppose Ritesh Agarwal would have walked into anybody's room a few years back with Oyo idea, and the professional, I'm sure at that point of time he must be also facing a lot of challenges. No,
Yes.
but the concept was good, idea was good, workable. So as a professional, we can judge, whether this idea is actually sounding good or actually financially sound. We can even go into their financial details. And of course, as a professional, we can help them with the money also, getting the business, getting angel investors. We can make their pitch deck to help them find the investors. And of course, instead of taking fees, take shares from them. And of course, you are then becoming part of them and trying to mentor them. So I think that, but if you really feel that this is not a good business, or then it is better to advise them upfront that look, I see a lot of challenges, which you cannot visualize, but I can visualize. So that is where I think we should honestly advise the startup.
Actually, being a young professionals, we are failed to assess the startups whether they are going to grow or not, sir.
That
This
is
is
where I was saying we have specialists, no? So you can have people who are a little more senior in the business to partner and mentor those startups, and you can collaborate with them. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. So now we're taking some question by asked by our viewers, sir. The
Yeah.
CA Jaggi Chaudhary ji asking, what is normal time when a startup should start getting positive returns? That is profitability.
It
What is the normal
depends
time?
depends on the business model. Normally, our experience is it takes from 1 year to 3 years horizon to make them come to the profitable level.
Okay. Okay. Devadi, do you have any question with the YouTube and Facebook?
Let me check before going YouTube and Facebook. If any participants want to ask questions, just raise your hand and you can directly speak to Rajiv ji and ask your queries. In the meantime, I check the questions from the Facebook and YouTube.
At the end of the session, we will take your 5 minutes also on the
Yeah.
matter how about all over your experience, sir. Because you have
Sure.
more
Sure.
than 30-year experience around, sir.
Sure.
So
Sure.
how you want to know about yourself also, sir? How you
Sure.
started and what thing we should focus more currently, because like having your experience with us will always is a roadmap for us for future, sir.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
We're checking the question, whatever question we have available right now.
Right now, we have two questions which came on the mail as well. Just let me read it out.
Are you reading, Deepak?
One question is whether newly incorporated partnership firms qualified as a startup.
Yeah, I mean, startup is basically if it is a new business or a new entity, it is a partnership, or it can be a LLP, it can be a company, it can be a sole proprietorship also, of course. But the startup India website, if you visit, they have certain norms, for getting yourself registered as startup. So I think it will fall in that category.
And next question is, how to register any business entity as a startup? I mean, any process which you can explain?
Yeah, if you go to the Startup India website, they have a very methodical, there are a set of forms which are to be filled up. And, as a professional, if we, this is also a work area guide the startups to through that documentation part, and then you can register yourself as a startup.
And another question is, what are the benefits and advantages of registering as a startup?
Well, there are a lot of Government of India schemes. There are a lot of funding options which are available. Of course, angel investors are also they sometimes come there and pick up the data. So if you are already registered on that space, they can actually see your business model and come to you. So by registering yourself as a startup, you are actually putting your, like, now there's a data bank for directors being made. Similarly, there's a data bank of startups also. So it is always better that if you are registered as a startup, people who are looking for investing in new startups, they can always find your story, and if they find it interesting, they can pick you up.
And one more question. These question has been asked by Shrikant ji. Now Amit Joshi has asked, I have noticed majority of the times that startup entrepreneurs are interested in how investor will invest in the business. For that purpose, various valuation methods are used for the same. Which method should we use for valuation purpose? I have also tried to apply for average valuation of various methods, but investors tends not to follow the same. What to do in that case? Also, the valuation changes constantly based on the happening of a particular event. Is it necessary to constant update the same? It's very time consuming process. So, what is your view on that?
Yes, valuation is very important, Amit. As you know that and especially the brand valuation part. Even the best of the valuers are always at a challenge how to value the new brand. But that in the challenge itself lies the opportunity for professionals. So I think the average valuation which you are talking about is one of the accepted method, and there are other methodologies. But the most important is how good is your project, and how actually that idea you can put across to the investor, because the investor, apart from the valuation, they are looking into your business model as well. So if your business model itself is very unique or very innovative, then definitely you can have good valuations. But again, you have to really sell your idea. And of course, evaluation is a continuous process, so one should keep on re-evaluating as the startup grows. Yeah.
And next question is from the Biswajit, and he's asking on the YouTube, how can we start a financial consultancy service and gain market?
So, Vishwajit, one of the point which I mentioned is that this is a big time opportunity. So I would advise that we professionals should start using the online platforms. I think we are not using online platforms to to the level it is being used by the various financial consultants overseas. For example, if you look at the US and other markets, the consultants are also using the digital marketing platforms for getting the work. And, there are various digital marketing websites which are offering work to the consultants back in India or across the globe. So there is a huge opportunity available in the digital marketing space, where we can also get in and learn those tricks of the trade, and definitely we can place and pitch ourselves in this area.
And Mr. R.K. Agarwal is asking, what are the new opportunities after COVID-19?
COVID-19, I gave few examples, like, a store in Bangalore, set up a information service for all the general stores which are open in that area. So like that, telemedicine, the various, new areas which are where social distancing can be maintained, but at the same time, business can be run or transaction can take place. Those business models are going to be very, very successful. E-learning, I'm telling you, is another area. I think this education seminar today itself is one example of that. Deepak and team has taken initiative, and we are learning online, sitting at our home. Although there was some technology issue which was there, but e-learning is something which is becoming very, very fruitful and successful for professionals. So like that, many new areas are emerging. Just keep an eye, keep on reading, keep on adding to your knowledge, and that is the key.
Utkarsh has raised his hands. Utkarsh, hello. Utkarsh ji, you can unmute your mic and speak.
हाँ, what are the incubators? कौन होते हैं?
Incubators are basically, for example, they are the ones who actually foster the,
Rajiv, your voice is not audible.
Meri voice? Hello? Is it okay now?
Fine, now it's fine.
Yeah. So incubators are basically who actually foster the business in a particular area. For example, they have an incubation center in, to provide technical knowledge to a particular industry. So they are the ones who actually give ideas to the startups. They give tools also to them. They give some kind of a working knowledge also to them, and based on that, they series of startups around them. So they are kind of seed, who actually try and grow various seeds from them. So they are kind of centers for starting a business in a particular industry or a particular area.
So there is another question with us. Whether a e-commerce startup is preferable to begin as LLP or a company? How to advise the client, sir, as per your understanding?
I think now there are various tax advantages available to the companies. The government of India came out with some tax holidays for startups also. So it is better to go for a private limited company, but depends on the size, what kind of size and what kind of business model it is. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other question, Deepak? I think there is another question asked by Mr. Rajesh. Share the method of assessment of idea.
Method of assessment of idea.
Yeah.
Now this is again, experience only. You have to actually, when various businesses, based on your experience of handling businesses, as we were talking about, I have been in the industry for almost 30 years. So I have, over the years developed one art of judging people. art of judging business. Then when they come out with their business model, you definitely you can go through the financials, whether those financials are sustainable or not, the projections which are giving which they are giving are achievable or not. You can apply your own discounting methods. Suppose they are talking about a top line of say 100 crores, so you can judge whether that kind of top line is possible or not, and based on that you can come out with your own assessment, because a startup entrepreneur will always try to pitch for his they will always say that my idea is the best idea. They will always try and sell their idea. But then as a professional, we have to judge whether this is a workable idea or not, and of course the projections they are talking about, they are achievable, or what kind of discounting needs to be applied to them. We can have some comparative analysis also of the similar business models if they are there. But if it is entirely a new idea, then of course we have to use our own judgment. Yes.
I think questions at Q&A session is over, sir. Now you're taking
Okay.
5 minutes only, sir, to discuss about your life experience, how we young professionals should go ahead in our professional endeavor, so that we can also achieve the heights like you, sir.
My journey has been very simple. As you introduced, I started my career from Chandigarh. So I qualified as a company secretary in 1992. So almost 28 years I'm there as a company secretary. So initially when I started, I was part of I joined a finance company. I did merchant banking. I sold public issues. At that time, Harshad Mehta era was there. So I was very lucky. I always had 2-3 appointment letters in my pocket. But then came the stock market crash, and everything, we saw that crash. We saw that period where professionals from big cars, they came down to lower end models. But I think that was a learning curve. Then I joined Panasonic. That was way back in 98. I was there with them for almost 22 years. So I grew with the company as a company secretary. Then I, at the fag end of my career, I was senior associate director looking into the entire commercial function, which included HR, IT, and finance as well. So I have seen my bit. I was a global advisor to the CF4 development program of Panasonic. So there was a time when, I used to judge the CFOs of other Panasonic companies across the globe. So so that is, every event, every thing which we do is a learning. Every new day comes with a new learning. So, and every new day comes with a new struggle also. So today we struggled with the mic. Just 2 minutes before starting time, we just tested, and at that time it was working. But so these are the things which keep us going, which keep us never give up. Your approach should be never give up, and there is no limit to the success and the level you can achieve. And I don't think age is coming in between. If you are, look at the Oyo guy, what is his age? He is, I think, just in his less than 30 years, 25 or 26, I think. So, but he is so successful. He is now setting his global footprint. So if you are having a good idea, good level of service, and as I said in one of my slides, we should actually get into the shoes of the client. We should not treat them like clients. If we are treating, even in job, I keep telling my team members that we work like an entrepreneur. If you are thinking that this is my salary and you are calculating your dil ka dihadi daily, then you are not able to succeed. But if you just forget about it, just think that it is your own business and you have to make it successful. Then of course, nothing can stop you. And even your employer will realize, even your client will realize that this man is actually honestly working hand in hand with me. So they will give you that kind of respect, that kind of money, that kind of, whatever we professionals look at. And of course, give you professional satisfaction, which is very important. So if you are satisfied, yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. You are one of the friend. Nimisha want to talk to you and ask a question over this platform. So we are taking this last question, sir.
Yes, yes.
Nimisha, you can speak now.
Yeah, good evening all. Good evening, Rajiv sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I hope you remember we met during elections.
Yes. Tell me.
So, sir, actually, I need to have an advice regarding one of my clients. So what is the feasible time I can talk to you over phone?
Yeah, after this call, we can connect. Yeah.
Right, sir, right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Nimisha. Thank you very much, sir. Now I am handing over this mic to Deepak ji to conclude the session and providing vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, Deepak.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can listen to Deepak ji.
Yeah, hello friends. This was indeed very enriching session, and there was little hiccups in the beginning. And my regards to the Rajiv ji who has enlightened us with the new aspect for the startups, and my regards to the audience also who are utilizing this time of the lockdown in such a meaningful activity, and they were very patient when in the beginning there were some hiccups and the systems were not working, and they were still waiting for the Rajiv ji to say a few words on the topic. Again, I thank you, Sangam ji and Rajiv ji, for all the support. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home, guys, friends. Thank you very much.
We will send the PPT to all of you on your email ID. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you, Rajiv ji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
and
friends. Thank you.
happy Baisakhi to everyone.
Happy Vaishakhi to everyone.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.